What we're going to do today is I got my shipment from Viking in, which is the front coilover system, the front coils for the car, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing that, and we'll see where we go, how far we get on a Sunday night. Alright, so now I have to assemble these pieces here. This is going to slide into here. Once it slides into here, obviously you can see it's free floating. I'm going to go ahead and put some snap rings in it. And then once this slides through here, I'll add these snap rings to these ends and we should be good to go. There's a couple different options you can get. You can get one that has an actual polyurethane bushing, but I thought like this little Heim joint, Viking, when I was on the phone with them, they said this would be better. I'll go ahead and get that. I gotta grab my snap ring pliers, figure out where the heck they're at. And then I'm gonna lube up with some anti-seize here. Screw the lock nut down, the bearing, or not the bearing, but the other nut where the spring is going to ride, the coil spring. And then I have this bearing here. I'm going to go ahead and lube that up with some anti-seize as well. So that way when we adjust it, it's free flowing, it's got enough lubrication. So it's kind of where we're at here.
And right here is when I run into the problem. My snap ring pliers broke on this snap ring.
Alright, so yesterday apparently we had a tool malfunction because the snap ring that goes on this T-bar here, that goes through the bearing in the bottom of the shock, that snap ring itself, pretty stout. I say that because it broke my snap ring pliers. So basically, once you slide it through there, the snap ring goes on here, and then one goes on the other side to keep it from walking. So I had to borrow a set of heavier duty pliers from a guy at work. So you can see this ring is pretty large, and mine couldn't open it, so I had to and mine broke. And now doesn't matter which direction you go, they don't try to do something with it, that ain't work. So, little tool malfunction. Other than that, we should be good to go.
Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and install the larger snap ring onto the T-bar fitting and get that all put into place here and slide it through the bearing. And now I'm going to install the other side. Alright, now both sides are done. You can see it cannot move from side to side, so making sure they're locked in place and moving on. Alright, so right here, even according to Viking's instructions, they say put anti-seize on this or else it will void the warranty. And if you think about it, guys, you can't overdo it with this stuff, really. Yes, it's nasty, it gets all in the way, but hey, it gets all over yourself, and I shouldn't say in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the threads here, so when I put everything on, the locking nut and the other nut for the spring, everything's going to move nicely. And on this locking nut here that you put on first, you'll notice when you look at it, it's got a little lip. That lip always faces up when you install it. Alright, right here is the bearing. So it has a flat washer that go on top of the spring nut for the coil spring nut, and then go ahead and put anti-seize all over this. This is an option. I highly recommend you go ahead and pay a little extra money and get it. It'll help that spring when you go to tighten up for your ride height. It'll all make it work a lot better. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that the tower nut here, where it's gonna go through the body mount of the car, or the strut mount, I'm gonna make sure that's tight here before we go any further, and then mount the strut mount on top of it.
forgot this piece that goes on there that attaches the entire spindle.
Oh, Lord.
So now I gotta pull it back off.
Silly goober. Sure, you'll have critiquers.
Oh, I'm sure there's gonna be some hater on there like, hey, dumbass, you forgot that.
That's all right.
Don't worry, I'll figure it out when I can't get the spindle up. Alright, awesome.
Right? What you need?
Alright, now that we got this piece back in, we can actually attach the whole spindle, which is what I forgot the last time. But now it's all in, all we gotta do is tighten this up. The bottom is tight down here. I have all the shock adjustments are down to 0. There's nothing on them. We don't even have the lock nut tight on it because I don't know where it's going to ride yet. So, of course, I want both sides to be even. So. Alright, so we got driver's side done. So now I'm going to take apart this side and we'll do a time lapse on it real quick until I get the whole strut out. Then I'll slow it back down and show you how much of a pain in the butt it is to get that bolt out. I had to cut the other one, so, but alright, that's kind of where we're at. We'll go ahead and start taking this thing apart and put a time lapse on. All right. So you see the whole strut is out. Obviously it's rusted as crap, so I'm gonna coat her down with a little bit of PV Blaster. I'll take the death tool here. Excuse me, COVID. And I'll compress this just enough that hopefully I can get that off. If nothing else, I'll compress it enough that I can just saw the thing off, like I did the other one. I cut it off. Because these is antiques, these from 1994. So these are originals. So if nothing else, I'll just cut it. But I gotta compress it a little bit if not, because if I cut it like it is, it'll shoot out of here real bad. I don't wanna do that. So that's kind of where I'm at. Let this thing soak for a minute. Try to get this thing set up on here and see what I can get this thing compressed. Surprising the way y'all saw that. Once I did a little bit of compression with this death strap here that I'm going to have to back off, this nut actually just came right off, which is completely surprising. So at this point, I don't know if we'll be able to get it off. We'll try to pry it out here because this piece comes off.
That was relatively easy too, even as rusty as it is.
Right, but see, this right here is still inside that spring.
Mm-hmm.
So I might just have to back these off and see if it'll come the heck out. As you can see, it's already got the socket stuck on it here. So O'Reilly's, don't be mad if I mess up your shit. So apparently that's stuck on there too. Soak it down a little bit of that good. And we'll see if we can get this thing off. Or maybe I have to put it in the vise. I got many vices, but this is my favorite vice. If anybody gets that bad joke. Huh. You gotta appreciate a dad joke. You don't appreciate dad jokes. You know that, right? You get tired of them.
I don't like those things. It bit my finger the other night.
What things?
That. Mm-hmm.
Huh? Said your finger shouldn't have been there. You didn't feel a thing.
Finger.
Take that back to the park store, get rid of that crap. About.
Looks like that was coming apart.
There's a will, there's a way.
Hell. Okay, that shot off like lightning speed.
Yeah, like I said, I thought it was in the pressure. So, now you're all gunshot here.
Yeah, I'm
I
nervous.
mean, did you die?
You never know. I could have tripped.
Either way. So, obviously, yeah, that is stuck on there. So if you look at this, it took most of that out of there. So at this point, I'm gonna have to get me another one of these because obviously I can't reuse this one. This one's shot. But the other piece of rubber,
Oh, it's still stuck in there?
the other piece that's over there, as you get close up, that goes in here. This is still good. I just gotta clean it up. It's still pliable, other than the metal pieces that are in it, but like the rubber is still good. So I'll just have to.
It wouldn't all come together as one set.
You know, I don't know. It might, but either way, that's where we're at with that one. I'll put up some videos of me redoing the axle studs. Those have come in. I'm still waiting on a few other parts to finish that. Yeah, and then I'll get this thing back on the ground and check ride height to make sure we're sitting where we need to ride, and we'll go from there.
Gizmo, are you shop dog? You riding the golf cart?